Chain maintenance, chain inspection. What do we need to do? Annually, before we launch the boat, it's helpful if you lay out all the chain on the dock or in the boatyard and inspect it. Inspect every foot of the chain. What we're looking for is wear. We're looking for corrosion. We're looking for pitting. Pitting specifically is where the chain is beginning to wear away, and you're finding that the finish is not consistent. The diameter is starting to change. Pitted chain should be replaced. Chain that has lost its galvanization can be regalvanized. I understand there are processes out there. There are companies that will do it, but it's expensive, and you're going to have to weigh the length of the chain that you have, the length of chain you need, as to whether or not to purchase new or consider regalvanizing. Larger yachts will sometimes have a washdown system where jets of water can be activated when the windlass is recovering. That's not terribly common. If you're dockside, it's wonderful to be able to bring a garden hose over, open up the anchor locker, and spray down the ground tackle, get the mud off, get the salt out of it as best you can. It's going to increase the longevity of the anchor rope package. The joinery of rope and chain is a backsplice. The backsplice should be inspected every single year. What we're looking for is flexibility, and we're looking for wear. Where you're going to see right away, either you've got your tails. In this case, we have 3 tails. They're perfect. This rope has not worn at all. It's a sample, but you can see in some cases where the tails may begin to pull out. They may split. They may fray. They may be elongated and may need to be trimmed. And as I had said, that flexibility is really important. The chain and the rope are going around a rather small diameter wheel. When the rope is new and we splice a rode for anchor windlass use, we actually put a splicing tool in between the rope and the chain. And when we've done the splice, we remove it, and then we leave a gap. Because over time, nylon, as we discussed, will shrink. It has great stretch characteristics, but it also shrinks, and it will shrink around that first link of chain. When it shrinks around that first link of chain and there's no flexibility, that's when we can have trouble getting around the chain wheel. So at the beginning of the season, if you find that your splice is very tight, you can knead it with your hands. You can actually tap it with a hammer or a mallet on the dock, or you can wedge a flat-headed screwdriver between the rope and the chain, and you can open it up. You're not damaging it. You're simply loosening the fibers, knocking out the salt water. And if your whole rode is very stiff, you can get a bottle of fabric softener, use a fair amount of it in a bucket of cool or warm water, not hot water, and that will soften the fibers of the rope and give you greater longevity. If that splice that we discussed has wear, let's cut it off. Let's take the bitter end, the opposite end of the rope, and bring it up and resplice the opposing end, and we can double the life of the rope.